Hey guys, you're about ready to watch the parade. Excellent parade. I was sitting probably 100 yards from the announcer, so what you can hear him playing his day in there on the video. I mean, so he's probably about 6-7 tractors ahead announcing. So, but that guy was pretty good too. Quite knowledgeable about Moline stuff. I was impressed too, but we were like 30 miles from Minneapolis where majority of the tractors were made, so that was kind of neat too. But anyways, I want to thank all the people that come up to me and introduced themselves and told me they were subscribers and everything. That was cool. Hey, and Rick, thanks for that arrowhead. It's out in my pickup and it's raining here again in Michigan. Jeez, you guys are dry as all get out there, and we're getting on the borderline to being wet. Anyways, I want to say thanks to all those guys. Thanks to MMCI for having a great show there too. I didn't mention that in the beginning of the last video, but anyways, what was the other? There was something else I wanted to talk about too, but anyway, we'll do it in the next one. I think I'm planning to head down to the Napanee, is it Powers of the Past show coming up, and I think it's in September. The Prairie Gold Rush, which is the other one of the other national Moline collector groups. That's their summer show, so I'd like to go down there and film that too. There should be some good, Indiana, that Napanee area, around Indiana, eastern Illinois, that southern Michigan can come in there too. There's Ohio's not that far either. There's quite a few yellow tractors around there, so that should be a good show too to go to. I'll take the camera along, of course, too. I'm going to try real hard to go. I think that's the same weekend as an auction sale that I wanted to go to, but I have a plan, so we'll do that. And next weekend, my local show here in Carroll, Michigan, is the Thumb Old Engine Club yearly show. They're featuring let me think here. Rumleys and steam engines, I think. So hopefully I have a good show there too. That's kind of a smaller show. Pretty good flea market. It's right there, right in town, fairgrounds. Can't miss that, or it's easy to get to, I guess. Right by the sugar factory. How's that? So you find that, you found the show. Check that out if you're in the area. So I'm gonna take the camera along. I probably won't take any tractors to that show. So I don't know if I have time to be there much more than just to go to film and do a little chit chat. And I'm not gonna spend all day there. I don't think I have time to do that. So, all right, well, enjoy this parade. It's a little bit lengthy, but you get to hear them old girls running. I am literally 10-15 feet from these tractors as they're going by. Thanks again to Dean Zingray. Oh man, for letting me use his golf cart or let me ride around with him too. That would saved a few footsteps, so that was great. So hey, enjoy the parade, and I'll see you later.
Here, week after that, the third weekend in August, you can go out to Butterfield, you can go out to Fairview, Wisconsin, there's quite a few shows that third weekend. Fourth weekend in August, the Pioneer Power is going to be celebrating their 50th anniversary. Now, in Ventura County, there's two features of next time is giving away this Ford Jubilee, the weekend of Labor Day, so the Sunday before Labor Day, Carmen Section is doing the driving today. For that was the late call for Thompson, he was a Ford man extraordinaire, and that was even before the internet. So they have a telephone that do a lot of corresponding that way. There's that footwork. Another local club that's giving away a tractor, the Credit River Antique Tractor Club. This is Paul Freeze driving 1947 Alice Chalmers T. They do that giveaway the first weekend in October, so get your tickets. They have their show at the Cedar Lake Farm Park. Yesterday I said Three Rivers. I think Cedar Lake is part of the Three Rivers Park District. The Alice was a two-row tractor and a traction engine built. The first one was me, 30,000. And then I think the Vance and Dart. A couple of the others, Minneapolis Threshing Machine Company built roughly about 8,000 traction engines. That's including all sizes. So on the list as far as number built, they're either 4 or 6, depending on some of the other early brands that had a better head start. Langenbach family have an early rated tractor. This is rated 4080. They think it's from 1913, just before World War I. Before this tractor, Minneapolis had come out with a 4-cylinder upright tractor that they called Minneapolis 25. That was in 1911. 4080.
All the tractors here, this is the one I want to take home right here.
Yeah, you can take that.
Okay.
Lyle Femright has a UB diesel from 1954. It's a UBE. It has the wide front on it. The B-Series tractors, they raised up the operator's platform and they did away with the hand clutch. And now they've got a foot clutch. True to Minneapolis' form, they didn't make too many of these in the diesel, just 300, the man said, so it's a survivor. Barry Geiger from Brainerd has a UTIL, got the heavy axle and the heavy wheel from 1949.
Yeah, buddy. That's a beast and a half there.
A lot of these tractors like this are fit up with loaders. There's actually one here that doesn't have a loader on it. Warren Cook is from Illinois, I believe. He's got a national known for his enthusiasm for the Moline Universal. Moline was in 1920 at the Montee Orchard. So it might sit down just a little bit lower than normal Universal. The Universal was unique to have an electric governor on it and had an electric light. They were built to a pattern that maybe a farmer would be used to setting behind the power unit like he was used to setting behind the draft animals, the horses or mules. Sheldon Weiner has an M602 from 1963. Some history on this tractor is built for the Del Monte Corporation of Full AT Combine.
See how that flywheel's wide open in there.
Of course, it's going to enable it to go exceptionally slow, so it'll go slow. They didn't build too many of the 602s. I think the total run on those, whether gas, diesel, or LP, was just 3,000 tractors. So this one on propane, Minneapolis Moline successful with their first propane tractor.
I used to have one of those.
Bob Spencer has a 5-star propane from 1957. Got the single front wheel. The single wheel was used in areas where they did rich tilling and wood busting. The wheel would come all over the ridge and fall across the field.
That 706 is an early one. It's got an Elwood under it instead of a Coleman.
Again, from the Bob Spencer collection. This is a 1966 Get the Car 3 Industrial serial number 12. So this is the number that were made. So it's a unique tractor. Take a look at it while it's here. It didn't make too many. Ron Becker has the 1952 VAS Industrial. So the VASI military. It says Air Force on it. USAF would be a United States Air Force. They made a feature to tow airplanes for any kind of work they needed to do around the air base. 46U. In this case, it's probably a UTE. It's got the wide front axle on it. The wide front axle looks crude, but that's the way they were built in the Minneapolis Moline factory.
I am too. This would be my second choice to take home from the show. I don't know. Maybe, but I could possibly afford one of these two, a new deluxe.
That's a big engine in it, I would think. Either the 504 or the 585. There's a lot of tractor there. John Salver from Lakeville, 1969, G1000 Vista. They raised the operator's platform and they put the fuel tank behind the operator's back track and it's attached to the fuel tank. Otherwise, the same big 504 cubic inch engine, and it's got the Minneapolis Moline label stamped and possibly could have been built by Treadmills down in Rochester. John Carver Threshermens, here's the Jet Star 3 Super from 1969. It looks to be in original condition. Tractors like this, they have the same size. Again, it's a signal just because the tractor gets between our transceiver, so I go in and out, that's purely what it is. So. Gary and Mary Olson, 1930, 20-watt 32. This is a Twin City, built by Minneapolis Steel and Machinery. The 20-watt 32 lasted until 1934, and then after that they changed it to the FP, upgrade to the FTA. If you look real, the flywheel in the housing there, and that was probably exposed so they can help the timing and such, but actually the FP gave way to the G, so this is the foundation of the four-cylinder G tractor. Sean Jacobson at Oak Grove has a 2244 Minneapolis thrashing machine. This is the little brother or little sister to the 3570 and the 4080. There's probably not as many of these 2244s around as there should be. They think it's from 1925. Yes, Gary and Mary Olson, they got a used diesel special, UTSD F, 1958. They didn't sell too many of these. I've heard a story that Minneapolis was actually intending to export these to a foreign country, and then when they didn't get exported, they stayed here, but it was still hard to find parts. Joe Hickman has a G706 from 1962. It's got the elf axle on it. When it see the openings in the hub, that's an input. As opposed to this second G706, that's a Coleman front axle. This one's Rich and Rose Auto. Their 706 from 1963. And both these, not the big 504. Both of 706s have the big 504 diesel. And from Gary and Mary Olson, a 1954 UTC, C stands for G, and it's also on propane. Usually these came tractors, when they were brand new, they were sold open. Florida, Louisiana, and California is when where they were sold to. They've been imported to here by the collectors. Steve El Rosa, his G1355 is from 1972. Again, this probably has the big engine in it, the 585. That's a lot of cubes. So a lot of cubes leaves a lot of fuel. Each of those fenders holds 35 gallons, so we've seen them a lot on the Olivers. Towards the end of production, White was mixing stuff up, so they're on this Minneapolis. Jim Wood from Melrose is G750, 1971. It's a repainted 1955. They're not. White Motor Company was mixing stuff up, and they were changing labels
my
and
900 look like that. I gotta buy a full set of weights though for it.
The Nelson family, they've got their Moline Universal D with a two-bottom plow. They think it's from 1919. That was the case with Universal. You could have a plow, a ditch, they're kind of equipment mounted on there. The Don family, in memory of Steve Don, this is his Cub 6. This is a KTA with the cast factory wheels from 1935. Don passed away quite a number of years ago, so in the Dawson family, they bring the tractor here in memory of the Fish Show and a few of the other local shows as well. So, Steve Don, 6 feet. Olson Fired Iron out of Stacy, Minnesota. ATA, 1935, has been upgraded to either Minneapolis Yellow or Prairie Gold. It's a nice original working patina on that tractor. Matt Scott has a ZB from 1953. Again, the operator's higher, you've got a foot clutch on the cap pulley. Vail-O-Matic, it says so right up the slide. The center flow baler, that's the way the big new balers were baling the big squares do it, but Minneapolis was ahead of their time. The hay or straw went in and pushed into a chute located in the center, not off to the side like the others, so they're ahead of their time.
I had to do.
The Yokeel family is down here in Wells, Minnesota. This is Ken Yokeel. And his V1000 Fitzell from 1969. In the factory cab, it looks to be in the original condition. I see the regulator on it. This one is on propane. And it appears to be a Clark front axle under this one. The Vistas, they raised the operator at a 50 feet, whether it was diesel or LP, went behind the operator. In fact, the seat is attached to that fuel tank. Nicely running as it goes through the frame, hard to hear. Ken from Ken O'Keel. This is a 1960 M5. An Elwood front axle on it. This time the tractors had two colors. They had the Prairie Gold and the Giant Brown.
Right about now would be in the way.
And give credit to the O'Keel family. The UDLXs, this is one that doesn't have the cam, but nonetheless they were all built in 1938. They built 150 of them. They built the first batch of 25, and out of that first batch of 25, 7 of them looked like this without a cam. The other 18 had cams. They said they drove them all to the dealership. And then the second batch was 125. They started off with a different number. You got the cam on it or not. So this was kind of a work in progress. They cost quite a bit for other tractors, and a lot of them were just jumped out because nobody wanted them or they didn't like the cab, but now they're quite valuable. So if you had one, you should have parked it under the trees or pushed it into the shed because you could have cashed in on it now. 68. I think the engine's just a little bit smaller than the 1000. I think it's a 450 watt. When you study these tractors close, the big plate on the side of the engine will tell you the cubic inch and whether it's naturally aspirated or turbocharged. The nice weights on the front, nice weights on the wheels. A nice red quick hitch is on the 3-point hitch that universally become known as a quick hitch, and they're going to go for most large models for quite some time now. Gary Richards from East Prairie, a UB Special Diesel 1955. They would have just built that 1 year. Again, the Minneapolis fabricated wide trunk underneath. This is Carol Richards with her UB Special Gas from 1955. And they didn't build these tractors in too long, so the people that have them are doing their best to put them together. These are kind of work in progress, the primer on the hood, sheet metal. Give it a few more years, we'll have it all nice one color. Jim Nancy has a nice 1966 Super used CO2 on propane. Again, the tractor looks to be in original condition. You'll see the circle underneath the used 302. That's Minneapolis Moline, trademark Minneapolis Moline, long life engine. It just ran a little slower, a little bit longer stroke.
Well, I think that's enough for this video.
Good for you,
We'll see you in the next one. Hope you enjoyed this.
Small farming, and he's got his lights on, so there. Then a little bit later, they stretched this ski out
Put a dog in the car.
to a 6-cylinder, the original 4-cylinder.
Where's Ginger's right
Got the big weight the wheels. Wade Brooks right.
A lot of work.
M5 standard from 1962 on propane. Standard tread front axle not adjustable, so technically this could be called a weakless tractor or a non-roll front. There can't be too many of them that were built that way, so maybe you look at it volunteer. Longboat site, a UTS they call it, or UTU, it says on the side, 1940. The U is good for teeth or tricycle. Baumgart Brothers, they're 750.
Quite a rig there to get the family on.
1973.
Kind of a roll cage.
So 750. I think between the 750 and the 755, very low production, only a couple hundred. Belt, horse,
UB diesel they come right here.
horse person ship, going about the harnesses and the heads and everything like that, keeping the memory of horses alive. Horses have an easy house. They used to work hard. A lot of them got traded in for tractors. A few years that some horses were pets in some cases. Colton out of Montgomery has a 149. That's the big one. 14-horse engine, hydrostatic transmission. Randy Schubert has a nice Oliver 70 from 1938. He's pulling a 2G man wagon. Man Company was located over in Wisconsin. They're one of the early wagon builders. This wagon has steel on the front and wood on the back.
parked it back there.
That's the Randy Schubert. There's the Farmall A, 1940. The A, the H, and the M were introduced in the summer of 1939. In July of 39, and then in September the D came along. No, he's not going to be able to pull this little tedious three-bottom, flat-bottom plow complete with holders. Number 8 was the flat-bottom plow was used in sticky soils or maybe like a seed ground to help the soil slide off the bottom. That it just goes through the grade, you can pull it that way. Built the A until 1947, and then they improved it as a Super A. It's the first in our letter series to get the Super designation.
Ooh, I bet this one's got a good bark to it.
I need to talk early on this. Our guest here from the Nowhead Show. This is an Avery steamer, an Avery water wagon, an Avery stuntmaker. This company was based in Peoria, Illinois, and they used the Bulldog as their trademark.
Woohoo! Want to hear it?
Sorry, Greta.
Boy, this is an old one here. I think that said 1919. That's a nice tractor, that 1256 there. Yeah.
The Avery separator actually has the name of the original owner painted on the
Got a steering wheel on it.
back. So wherever that person was and wherever that town is.
Cool.
Dale Greco from Vero Beach, Florida. That's a long ways to come, but I think it's cooler up here. It is there. This is
there you
a 1931 15-horse Fairbanks horse farm engine. The device
many of these.
water that's called a screen tour. Water goes to the top, falls over the screen, and hopefully by the time it gets to the bottom, it's a little bit cooler than when it started with the early version of what eventually became radiators.
Yeah, you don't see. What's that? Nope.
Track road by the Scott Carver Club, which is an 8 Farmall, like 42, still has the large oil filter, brick road, or even they changed the large filter to small, probably the same. I think the track
You don't see many of those anymore. Yeah.
Jacob has an Allen Chopper seat with a wide front axle, a straight axle, 1947. Getting towards the end of the seat production, I think it was 1948 that they introduced the C8. We got a 47 seat. The last straight one to take. And there's some interest in the old joist. This one's from 1975. This is Jerome and Phoebe Vanderlinde. Their D100-06 and a front wheel assist. Complete with a nice dealer sticker on it, I think out of Lake Lillian it looks like, but
If you guys want to go to that candy store, you probably can. Yeah, because you're going out that way.
Go back after a while.
Okay. Either way to
Joyce was famous for their air-cooled engines, so I think he was correct to be what it said on that sticker.
Fine. Grab that.
Parker's Prairie, not Lake Lillian.
Okay. Love you.
Yep, love you too.
Bill Janosic has an Allen Sullivan G from 1948. The G was the economy tractor that Allen was hoping to sell to southern farmers, so they built it down in Gadsden, Alabama. Between 1948 and 1955, they built about 30,000 Allen Sullivan Gs. The first ones were priced at about $750.
Nice looking cub.
So the empty lap was, they were
Nice looking cub.
$950, but they're still handy in vegetable areas or doing precise planting. 60 cubic inch 4-cylinder
That's all right. Not in a hurry.
The Allen truck was by Allen in December of 1937. The first handful had flathead
Yeah, I
engine.
was looking for Oliver's
The
first.
went to the Allen
Just like
overhead engine. I think 113 cubic
That's when I was back in probably 98, 97. I was looking for my first tractor.
Couldn't find it. Austin Bureau and the 1256 Wheatland from 1968.
I worked for 10 years.
Featured in the Wheatland that got two headlights embedded in the grill because the big round fender didn't have a real good spot to put any lights on.
Okay.
It's got the big tires on the back, and even though it has sliding axles, it's still intended to be a Wheatland tractor.
Well, that 1655, that'd be a nice tractor to drive.
407 cubic inch turbo truck, 5 horse out of that. Denison J. and Maddie, this is UGLX number 1, the first of the 25 built. Dennis bought this tractor many years ago down in Iowa. The people in Iowa actually found the tractor up in central Minnesota. They put it together, so 000 to 005, the next batch starts 00 and ended at 0625. Here, elevator, 1964 with a chemical tank. Maybe doing a little
How many hours do you have to sit and watch and edit or whatever?
Quite a bit, actually.
I don't know how Ross
Just a lot of
does.
those shelter bells.
Yeah, 'cause he's been doing just about his whole life. Seems like. Yeah.
Got a few Ford components on it. I think tractor wheels and an engine. Landon Johnson,
MG.
Normal age, 1945, getting towards the end of school.
Made in Dubuque, Iowa.
Neighbors had one years ago.
Yeah.
That was their main tractor.
Oh,
As
man.
soon as fires
Yeah.
that era were upgraded as quickly as possible.
Got in there 70s. Yeah.
Yep.
That's not bad, tractor.
Not as many as the aces with the maps that were built.
Oh, man. It's
Mike
nice
Welker
now,
on
isn't
the
it?
Bell Play.
Beautiful.
His fifth.
Tires on the back. Yeah. How long is that for? Once you hop out there and say, hey,
How
Steve,
far
come
off
on.
had a little 60 cubic inch engine, yes, so if you do it metric,
I
just
was
one
serious,
liter
I
of
will
power.
myself.
But designed for farmers even smaller than those that didn't need the Farmall 8. Dale Stewart out of Prior Lake is John Deere 8. Goes by and they lose the signal. In 1955, they came out with the Cub Lowboy. The Cub Lowboy does not have a Farmall designation. It always been international. This one's got a flail mower on it. We'll stand closer to the transceiver and hopefully we don't be shorting in and out. Maybe I'll have to go over there and stand right next to it. Maybe my microphone is nervous because all you 5 people here are staring at it.
Oh, really?
Josh Dobson has a 1655 from 1974. The White Motor Company was marketing these. They took the 1650 and they put 2 headlights up in the grill. They put the green stripe on the emblem and they put the green stripe on.
See them good looking pieces are coming.
the same tractor that about the 1650, maybe a little bit of tweak in horsepower.
Got it on video.
Mr. Jim Olson out of Bloomington, proud member of the IH Chapter 15. He's got 40 parts from 1959. We got the tractor that replaced would have replaced the 200, the 230 actually. But this is a fast hitch mounted plow that he's got in the original condition.
Little.
6 gas. 3-bottom John Deere plow behind it.
That's a little. Yeah. 3-bottom. Yeah. That's a huge disc though.
The parade route. They've had
830
years. Sometimes the guy wanted to jump off the track, go over here when the beer stand was here. His name was Charlie. And Ken would always say, no, you can't do that. If you guys with the food, get the food before the parade. Or you'll have to go set a corner. Jason Steele, John Deere from 1940. Dean Cook for tricycle. This John Deere tractor has an upright 2-cylinder engine and a foot. All other John Deeres, the larger ones in 49, had horizontal engines and hand clutches. But these tractors were built in Dubuque, Iowa, and the others in Waterloo. Mr. Edward Schmidt, a 1020 John Deere from 1968. It's a 3-cylinder. Edward is from Montgomery. Always comes to the local shows. Out of the 20 series, they built one that was smaller. They built the 820. And they built 2 that were bigger, the 1520 and the 2020. So they're getting kind of hard to find. Nice little tractors. People use them and use them up.
No, 930 case. Is that a 4-cylinder or 6? You know? 930? I don't know. 10.6.
Andrew Steverson has his 1941 T. We got a twist the top pipe. And you got to do your before. Many years ago, Bill Cobb was in the old information stand when it was over here, so I met him and knew who he was. So 2 years after that, he passed away, but it's good to see the family members are still participating in the show.
And they go right down. Yeah, right down. Yeah, you don't see that with diesel very often.
4-7,
Nice.
so check out the phone number, stab the truck.
I kind of admire
You
that
wanna
about
make
these LP tractors. You can get them down there good.
Starting with this one, got the big fenders on the tractor. And holding the
They look
Deere
similar, don't
fenders,
they?
And the protection from all the dust and mud comes up off the wheel.
They were even similar. There were cubic inches were similar too. Same, some of them. The crankcases are definitely different, cast different, and oil pan. But the upper end, I don't know if it's the same
Sandy Hesh is our
engineering firms or what.
And you
Yeah.
can see work over there in the print building. He takes time to Ivor Alice, C.A. Alice.
I remember seeing this 88 out there. Yeah, they're a good tractor.
Or it's just a straight C with a straight axle on it. It's got the
6
little
cylinders and now
steel wagon with a couple of
Yeah.
straw bales. Next year for the 35th anniversary of my announcing at the Wood River Antique Power, they're going to be featuring Alice Chalmers. Thursday end in July. The Sandy Head Collection B is from C1. It has the one-row cultivator on. Has the arched axle. This is a legitimate cultivator on the Alice B. That's why the axle is arched the way it is. It's crop clear.
That's fit in the back of my pickup.
Yes, from the collection, this is a D12 Alice 1962. The D12 and the D10 were the smallest of the D series. The D10 was a one-row tractor similar to the B, and the D12 was wide enough to take 2 rows. There aren't too many of these left, so when you're looking to get your complete D section, these little D10s and D12s are hard to find. This is a D12 Series 2, and it's got a roller filler behind it.
Something is here too.
Yep.
Oh God, yeah.
In October of 1953, Harry Ferguson sold his Ferguson business to Nancy Harris, and the ensuing 5 years created a lot of confusion, and this tractor was one of them. This is the 1956 Nancy Harris 50. This is Eric Knight. They also built this tractor with different sheet metal and different colors as the Ferguson 40. Now, Ferguson.
Yeah, I owned one of them for a little while.
The great implement is a Ferguson disc plow. Disc plows like were used in that they thought that chew up the soil a little bit better, so tractors have them. The run-up for my Jason here is 1959. 65 Master Ferguson. That's how Jason restores his tractor. Jason is dad, Bob Rowder, so the owners. And this is a
Right.
nicely restored to the paint with the Ferguson decal. Usually the Ferguson equipment had a nice little plate on it, riveted to it.
That's good.
Jason's tractor. This tractor belongs to Jason's grandpa. That's why he did such a good job. 830 pace diesel. If you have the calendar that has tractors on, this tractor is the picture on your NAPA calendar. So bring your calendar and make Jason autograph it for you.
What's
Worth the whole $5.
Oh man,
Otherwise, how they throw them away.
that was very nice.
That's it. These big 1030 diesel, 461 cubic inch. These tractors were used and used up. There's not too many of them left. You've got the each had the wraparound weight around the bottom of the grill, and then you could add these section weights as many as you needed.
Where were they built? Oh, I don't know that answer. I didn't ask that question.
Watch me to do that next year. Show me to see.
That guy might know. This has got an itch.
I mean, the details that they go to see, they've even reproduced the case filters. The case filters didn't match the tractor paint. They were gold in color. That was what people know that you're doing good paint, keeping your filters.
Somebody tell me they got a full.
They were stored them like that for the restoration and gentility of the
Swiss Army
history.
knife vehicles. Yep.
Mike and Sidney Kalala, 1964 2000 Ford, kind of keeping up with the 600s and the 800 standards previously, either 134 or 172 engine in it. Same size, and the early 60s Ford changed from red to blue. They were marketing tractors worldwide, and they wanted to be sure they're all the same color. from Shakopee is Oliver 88. It's from 1950. Complete with the side panels. He still uses it. He's got some extra hydraulics on it. So that wheels look different. He has the wheels dished out. So this is usually the inside of the wheel that you would see. So a little bit different.
Jet Star 3 diesel sounds just like that. It's a little bit loud. Kind of knocky sound. Yeah.
Sean Highway Lumber. They've actually got a big display up at the Little Log House Show, but this is their Super 55 Industrial. That's why it's yellow, and it was built in 1955. Paul Lano, second time through the trade. This time he's got an early Melrow. This is as they were figuring out what to do to develop the skid loader. This is from 1959. An M200 over 1 million Bobcats to go. They look like this. So this is a two-runner for the Bobcats. Thanks to all the insurer members. Otherwise, we never know. So we will count it up to the skid somewhere. Be used as a John Deere L. It's a early L. They've got a table at 1938. I think that's a little bit too soon for the silent split. We don't know everything and everything. All three second time through the trade 640. In late 1938, they put the silent on the WT. It still has the handbrakes and the 6-lug wheels and the same 201 engine. And Alan Salvers uses silent services on a firm or a government named Brooks Stevens. And Brooks Stevens puts people to gas, the hood and the grill and the fender. They built the WT for another 8 years after this one. The last one in late 47 or 48 when they came out with the WT. Saying that, there's a 1948 that they called daughter Linda. WD with a wide front. The WD has a famous cam front. You can stop the tractor. Okay. Here's the clay. The DM is from 1947. The DM bottom is about 8 inches narrower than the one mower is 1950. Model 120. Family again, they're WD-45, 1956. Now it's substation, the crankshaft with the 201 engine, now it's 46. So the 45 and 4.5 stroke. Still the 4-inch bore. Still 5% now, it's just good 3-mile track. Black stripe. You have to know the black stripe tractors had the identified plate different than the non-black stripe, so if you're buying one, be sure you're getting an official one, not someone that's something that's repainted. all the Jubilees. All the Jubilees were built in 53. This one has the motor brackets on it, few dents in the hood. How can that not happen when you're using it all the time? So a good little sport tractor. They still make a fair amount of parts that you can keep these tractors going. Jeff Cook out of Jordan, his 1948 Jeep. This is DJ farm model, complete with a ridge on the front, 3-point hitch on the back, and a power off
grade school.
As it goes by.
Friends of mine out on the farm, and I didn't like it up and down clutch. I just hated that up and down clutch.
Yeah.
Earl Springhagen has an Allen CA from 1953. The CA has a little version of the live clutch. That's the handle that's behind the right fender. It also has the spin-out wheel. And I think they improved the engine a little bit, going from 115 to 125. A good 2-row cultivating track. Gene Sophie has a 1958 445 diesel. In this time frame, they didn't build too many of them.
We got one of those.
Hey, white front end.
Another one from Gene Sophie. This is a 604, 1964. Front end on it with the big covered humps that are bolted on. Not built many of these 604s. The previous model, the 504, those are both production tracks. If you find one, they're not too simple. Roger Bregeman has a 3020 from 1966. 3020 diesel. Fell from the gear shift lever. It's got the sequence transmission. It's originally four-stroke tractor. Marvin Bregeman has a John Deere A from 1952, getting close to the end of production. They built the last A's, I believe, in March of 1952.
You guys, but I need to pull
And
my
the A was
tractor.
replaced by the Model 60.
No problem. Right down there. Thank you. All we would have to do is blow the horn.
And it is John Deere D from 1941.
Keep going right on down. Then the other go through. Is that number 1? I don't think so. I think that's the other one. There you go. Well, there you go. That's the end of the parade, as far as we know. We'll see you in the next one.